Carlos Ghosn's life story is one of the most extraordinary in modern business history, a saga that spans continents, cultures, and industries, culminating in a downfall as dramatic as his rise. Let's delve deeply into the intricate details that shape this narrative, exploring every facet of his journey from his early life to the height of his power and his eventual, spectacular fall from grace. Carlos Ghosn was born in 1954 in Porto Velho, Brazil, a city nestled in the Amazon rainforest. His parents, Lebanese immigrants, had moved to Brazil seeking better opportunities, bringing with them the rich cultural heritage of their homeland. From a young age, Ghosn was exposed to a blend of cultures, languages, and traditions, a multicultural environment that would profoundly influence his worldview. His father, Jorge Ghosn, was a businessman with strong ties to Lebanon, while his mother, Rose, was deeply rooted in the traditions of the Middle East. Growing up in such a diverse environment, young Carlos developed an early appreciation for different cultures, a trait that would later become a cornerstone of his global business strategy. At the age of 6, Carlos's life took a significant turn when his family decided to return to Lebanon. Beirut, a city known for its rich history, diverse population, and complex social fabric, became the backdrop for Ghosn's formative years. In Beirut, Ghosn attended a Jesuit school, where he excelled academically. His intellect was apparent from a young age, and his parents recognized that he had the potential to achieve great things. They made the difficult decision to send him to Paris for his higher education, believing that the French capital, with its prestigious academic institutions and vibrant intellectual scene, would provide the best opportunities for their son. Arriving in Paris as a teenager, Ghosn found himself in a city that was a world apart from the bustling streets of Beirut and the tropical landscapes of Brazil. Paris was, and still is, a center of intellectual and cultural life, and it was here that Ghosn would begin to develop the skills and knowledge that would later make him a titan of industry. He enrolled in École Polytechnique, one of France's most prestigious engineering schools, where he studied under some of the brightest minds in the country. Ghosn's time at École Polytechnique was rigorous. The institution was known for its challenging curriculum and high academic standards. But Ghosn thrived in this environment, demonstrating an aptitude for problem-solving and a keen analytical mind. After completing his studies at École Polytechnique, Ghosn continued his education at École des Mines de Paris, another top-tier institution, where he specialized in engineering. It was during these years that Ghosn began to hone the critical thinking skills and strategic mindset that would later define his leadership style. He graduated with a degree in engineering, equipped with the technical knowledge and the strategic insight to tackle complex problems, a combination that would prove invaluable in his future career. Ghosn's first major professional role came in 1978 when he joined Michelin, one of Europe's largest tire manufacturers. Michelin was a major player in the global tire market, and for a young engineer like Ghosn, the opportunity was enormous. However, the challenges were just as significant. Ghosn was tasked with managing Michelin's operations in Brazil, a country that was, at the time, experiencing severe economic instability. Hyperinflation, political turmoil, and social unrest made Brazil a challenging environment for any business, let alone a foreign company trying to establish itself in the market. Ghosn approached the challenge with characteristic determination. He knew that to succeed, he would have to understand the intricacies of the Brazilian market, navigate its economic challenges, and build a team that could execute his vision. Ghosn immersed himself in the work, spending countless hours analyzing the market, developing strategies, and working closely with his team to implement them. His hard work paid off. Michelin's Brazilian operations not only survived but thrived under his leadership. Ghosn's success in Brazil was a testament to his ability to lead in the face of adversity, and it quickly caught the attention of Michelin's top executives. By 1985, Ghosn had been promoted to Chief Operating Officer, COO, of Michelin's South American operations. At just 30 years old, he was now responsible for overseeing the company's entire operations on the continent. This role was a significant step up for Ghosn, but it was also fraught with challenges. South America was a region characterized by economic volatility. In Michelin's operations there were no exception. However, Ghosn was undeterred. He applied the same strategic thinking and leadership skills that had served him well in Brazil, streamlining operations, cutting costs, and improving efficiencies across the board. Ghosn's leadership style during these years began to take shape. He was known for his decisiveness, his ability to make tough decisions quickly, and his unwavering focus on results. But he was also deeply committed to his team, understanding that their success was integral to the success of the company. Ghosn was not just a manager, he was a leader, someone who could inspire his team to go above and beyond, even in the face of difficult circumstances. In 1989, Ghosn faced another significant challenge when he was appointed CEO of Michelin North America. The North American market was vastly different from South America, with its own set of challenges and complexities. The competition was fierce, the stakes were higher, and the expectations were greater. But Ghosn was ready for the challenge. He saw it as an opportunity to further prove himself, to demonstrate that his success in South America was no fluke. One of his most significant tasks in North America was the integration of Uniroyal Goodrich Tire Company, which Michelin had recently acquired. Mergers and acquisitions are always complex, fraught with risks and uncertainties, but Ghosn approached the task with the same determination and strategic insight that had characterized his career thus far. He led the restructuring of the newly acquired company, making tough decisions where necessary, cutting costs, and integrating the operations into Michelin's broader strategy. It was a massive undertaking, but Ghosn was more than up to the task. Throughout this period, Ghosn continued to hone his leadership style. He became known for his ability to make tough decisions while also inspiring those around him to achieve their best. He was not just focused on the bottom line, he understood the importance of building a strong team, of creating a culture of excellence that would drive the company forward. By the early 1990s, Ghosn had established himself as a formidable leader in the global business world. His reputation as a turnaround expert had spread beyond Michelin, catching the attention of Renault, one of Europe's largest and most storied automakers. In 1996, Renault was in dire straits. The company was facing severe financial difficulties, with declining sales and rising costs threatening its survival. Renault needed a savior, and they found one in Carlos Ghosn. Ghosn joined Renault at a time when the company was at its lowest point. The challenges were immense, Renault was hemorrhaging money, and its workforce was demoralized. But Ghosn was undeterred. He quickly assessed the situation and realized that drastic measures were needed to turn the company around. With the same determination that had characterized his earlier successes, Ghosn set out to save Renault. The steps he took were not popular. Thousands of jobs were cut, plants were closed, and non-core assets were sold off. It was a painful process, one that caused significant upheaval within the company. But Ghosn knew that these steps were necessary. Sometimes, to save something, you have to be willing to let go of the parts that are holding it back, he might have thought during this difficult period. His approach worked. Within a few years, Renault was back on its feet, profitable once more, and with a renewed sense of purpose. Ghosn's success at Renault earned him the nickname low-cost killer, cementing his reputation as one of the most effective leaders in the industry. But as always, Ghosn was looking ahead, thinking about the next challenge, the next mountain to climb. That challenge came in 1999 when Ghosn was tasked with turning around another struggling automaker, Nissan. The Japanese company was on the brink of bankruptcy, weighed down by debt and inefficiencies. Ghosn was brought in as COO and later CEO to execute a turnaround plan that would save the company. Japan presented a unique set of challenges. The business culture was vastly different from what Ghosn had experienced in Europe and the Americas. Decision-making processes were slower, and there was a strong emphasis on consensus. But Ghosn knew that if Nissan was to survive, it would require swift and decisive action. He introduced the Nissan Revival Plan, which included massive layoffs, plant closures, and a complete overhaul of the company's operations. The decisions Ghosn made during this time were not easy. Imagine the weight on his shoulders as he announced the layoffs of thousands of employees, knowing the impact it would have on their lives. This is necessary for the survival of the company, he might have told himself, but that didn't make the decisions any less difficult. Yet, Ghosn was resolute in his belief that these steps were essential for Nissan's revival. Once again, Ghosn's instincts were right. Under his leadership, Nissan rebounded, returning to profitability within a few years. The success of the turnaround was nothing short of miraculous, and Ghosn became a hero in Japan, earning the nickname Gaijin Shacho or Foreign CEO. His success at Nissan was not just about saving a company, it was about bridging cultural divides, about showing that strong leadership could transcend borders and bring people together in pursuit of a common goal. With Renault and Nissan both thriving, Carlos Ghosn's life is a sprawling epic of ambition, innovation, and dramatic downfall, a story that touches on nearly every facet of global business, leadership, and scandal. Born in 1954 in Porto Velho, Brazil, to Lebanese parents, Ghosn's early years were marked by a unique blend of cultures that shaped his worldview. When he was just 6 years old, his family moved back to Lebanon, a country rich in history and cultural diversity. Here, Ghosn's intellectual curiosity flourished, leading his parents to send him to Paris for his education. In Paris, Ghosn attended two of France's most prestigious schools, École Polytechnique and École des Mines de Paris. These institutions were not just about imparting technical knowledge, they were about shaping leaders. Ghosn excelled in this environment, absorbing the rigors of French engineering education while honing his strategic thinking skills. His time in Paris was transformative, providing him with a global perspective that would define his approach to business. In 1978, Ghosn began his career at Michelin, a major tire manufacturer in Europe. At just 24 years old, he was tasked with managing Michelin's operations in Brazil, a country mired in economic instability. Brazil's hyperinflation, political turmoil, and social unrest made it one of the most challenging markets in the world, but Ghosn thrived under pressure. He immersed himself in the complexities of the Brazilian market, developing innovative strategies that helped Michelin's operations not only survive but thrive. His success in Brazil quickly earned him recognition within Michelin, leading to his promotion as COO of Michelin's South American operations by 1985. At 30 years old, Ghosn was overseeing Michelin's operations across an entire continent, navigating the economic volatility of South America with the same determination and strategic insight that had defined his success in Brazil. His leadership style, characterized by decisiveness and a focus on results, began to take shape during these years. Yet, Ghosn was not just a manager, he was a leader who inspired those around him to achieve excellence, even in the most challenging circumstances. In 1989, Ghosn faced a new challenge when he was appointed CEO of Michelin North America. The North American market was fiercely competitive, with higher stakes and greater expectations than what he had encountered in South America. However, Ghosn saw this as another opportunity to prove himself. One of his most significant tasks was the integration of Uniroyal Goodrich Tire Company, which Michelin had recently acquired. Mergers and acquisitions are fraught with risks, but Ghosn approached the task with the same strategic clarity that had defined his career. He led the restructuring of the newly acquired company, cutting costs, streamlining operations, and integrating it into Michelin's broader strategy. Ghosn's leadership at Michelin North America solidified his reputation as a turnaround expert. By the early 1990s, he had established himself as a formidable figure in the global business world. His success at Michelin caught the attention of Renault, one of Europe's largest automakers, which was facing severe financial difficulties in 1996. Renault needed someone who could implement drastic changes to save the company, and they saw that potential in Ghosn. When Ghosn joined Renault, the company was at its lowest point, bleeding money and struggling to remain competitive. Ghosn wasted no time in implementing a series of tough reforms, including layoffs, plant closures, and the sale of non-core assets. These measures were unpopular and caused significant disruption within the company, but they were necessary for Renault's survival. Ghosn's efforts paid off. Within a few years, Renault had returned to profitability, earning him the nickname low-cost killer. But Ghosn was not content with simply turning around Renault. In 1999, he took on another massive challenge, saving Nissan, a Japanese automaker on the brink of bankruptcy. Japan presented a unique set of challenges, with a business culture vastly different from what Ghosn had experienced in Europe and the Americas. However, Ghosn recognized that swift and decisive action was needed to save Nissan. He introduced the Nissan Revival Plan, which involved massive layoffs, plant closures, and a complete overhaul of the company's operations. These decisions were difficult, but they were essential for Nissan's revival. Under Ghosn's leadership, Nissan rebounded, returning to profitability within a few years. His success at Nissan was nothing short of miraculous, earning him the nickname Gaijin Shacho, or Foreign CEO. Ghosn's ability to bridge cultural divides and lead across different regions became one of his most defining characteristics. With both Renault and Nissan thriving, Ghosn saw an opportunity to create something even bigger: the Renault-Nissan Alliance. The Renault-Nissan Alliance, formed in the early 2000s, revolutionized the automotive industry by allowing the two companies to share resources, technology, and expertise. Under Ghosn's leadership, the alliance grew into one of the most powerful automotive groups in the world. Ghosn continued to push boundaries, spearheading the development of electric vehicles long before they became mainstream. The Nissan Leaf, introduced in 2010, was one of the first mass-market electric vehicles, positioning Renault-Nissan at the forefront of the electric vehicle revolution. However, Ghosn's career took a dramatic turn in 2018 when he was arrested in Japan on charges of financial misconduct. Accused of underreporting his income and using company funds for personal expenses, Ghosn's once illustrious career was suddenly mired in scandal. The arrest led to a highly publicized legal battle, during which Ghosn maintained his innocence, claiming that the charges were part of a conspiracy to remove him from power. The most astonishing chapter of Ghosn's story came in December 2019, when he executed a daring escape from Japan. Facing a lengthy legal process and under strict surveillance, Ghosn managed to flee the country hidden inside a musical instrument case, smuggled onto a private jet that flew him to Lebanon. The escape was meticulously planned, involving a team of operatives and a complex route through Turkey to Lebanon, where Ghosn would be out of reach of Japanese authorities due to the lack of an extradition treaty between the two countries. Now in Lebanon, Ghosn lives in relative seclusion, continuing to assert his innocence and portraying himself as the victim of a political and corporate conspiracy. He remains a polarizing figure, celebrated by some as a visionary leader who revolutionized the automotive industry and condemned by others as a symbol of corporate greed and corruption. The Renault-Nissan Alliance, once a powerful force in the global automotive industry, has struggled without Ghosn at the helm, highlighting the critical role he played in its success. Carlos Ghosn's story is a reminder of the thin line between success and scandal. It is a tale of ambition, power, and the complex interplay of global business and politics. His rise to the top of the automotive world, followed by his dramatic fall and audacious escape, ensures that his legacy will be debated for years to come. Whether seen as a hero or a villain, Carlos Ghosn remains one of the most fascinating and controversial figures in modern business history. His life, filled with extraordinary achievements and equally extraordinary controversies, serves as a testament to the complexities of leadership, the dangers of unchecked power, and the unpredictable nature of success. Today, as Ghosn continues to defend his actions and his legacy from the relative safety of Lebanon, the world watches closely. His story is far from over. It is a living, breathing narrative that continues to evolve. The questions surrounding his rise and fall are likely to be debated for years to come, as his story raises important issues about corporate governance, the responsibilities of leadership, and the consequences of ambition. Ghosn's life is a powerful reminder that the pursuit of success at any cost can lead to unimaginable heights, but it can also bring about a precipitous fall, one that no amount of power or influence can easily reverse.